Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. Okay, let's just dive right into it, because today we are breaking down something completely fascinating. We're looking at the ultimate step-by-step blueprint for building a faceless digital empire using YouTube automation. If you've ever found yourself wondering how people are making serious income online without, buying a fancy camera, setting up crazy studio lighting, or even using their own voice, well, you are definitely in the right place. We're going to unpack the exact system, straight from our source material, that's turning everyday people into savvy digital business managers. So it all really boils down to one massive question. Why show your face when AI can literally do the heavy lifting for you? We are totally challenging the traditional creator model here. You absolutely do not need to be some charismatic, on-camera personality to succeed anymore. By leaning into automated, faceless content, you essentially remove all the usual friction of video production. You're replacing the traditional studio setup with artificial intelligence, and that allows you to pump out content at scale while staying entirely behind the scenes. And there's a definitive financial why behind this whole strategy. To put it into perspective, if you're making content for a local developing audience, your revenue per mil, or RPM, might sit at around $31 for every 100,000 views. But if you systemize your setup to target a US audience, bam! That number skyrockets to $450 for those exact same 100,000 views. It's a staggering contrast, and it perfectly illustrates why putting in the effort to automate and target correctly is such a massive financial advantage. All right, so here is our roadmap for today. We're going to cover 1. The automation blueprint, 2. High ROI niche selection, 3. The AI content engine, 4. Visuals, editing, and thumbnails, 5. Channel setup and launch, and finally, 6. Scaling like a business. We've distilled hours of complex instructions into these 6 clear, actionable steps, so let's get right to it. Kicking things off with Section 1, the automation blueprint, or as I like to call it, working smarter, not harder. The crucial first step is defining what this actually is. YouTube automation is, effectively, managing a channel without ever showing your face or hitting record on a microphone. Instead, you use a stack of AI tools and eventually specialized teams to create the content for you. You're building a system where clicks replace cameras. Think of it like this. You're stepping out of the shoes of an exhausted content creator and stepping into the role of a digital business manager. You just orchestrate the whole shebang and the system does the work. Which brings us nicely to Section 2, high ROI niche selection. Because, well, this is where the money is. Passion alone doesn't always pay the bills. The source data highlights 3 heavy-hitting categories with massive advertiser demand. First up, personal finance, stuff like budgeting and stocks. Why does it work? High CPM. Advertisers are literally fighting to pay top dollar to be on those videos. Then there's AI and technology, which has the fastest growing search volume right now. But check out this third one, storytelling and mystery, specifically true crime and horror tales. This niche pulls in massive watch time and viewer engagement, which the algorithm absolutely loves. The real trick here is aligning one of these highly profitable categories with something you actually find somewhat interesting. Moving right along to Section 3, the AI content engine. Let's talk about scripting and voice. Okay, this 3-step workflow, it's an absolute game changer. First, you find a highly successful video in your niche and use the built-in transcript tool to copy the text. Now don't worry, we aren't stealing here, we're just using it purely for structural inspiration. Second, you take that raw text and have an AI, specifically Claude, rewrite and enhance the entire script into something totally original. Finally, you feed that polished script into a tool called ElevenLabs to generate a startlingly lifelike voiceover. It's just a brilliantly efficient little engine. So, what do you actually tell the AI? Well, the source shares this specific, high-value prompt for that second step. You tell Claude, rewrite this transcript into a mysterious script, add dramatic pauses and strong emotional hooks for a voiceover. Now, you might be wondering, why Claude over ChatGPT or something else? Well, Claude is distinctly superior at capturing human pacing, emotional nuance, and real storytelling depth. It'll even add stage directions, like pauses and emphasis points, which makes the final audio sound unbelievably authentic. Right, so script in hand, we head over to ElevenLabs. Now, listen up. This is absolutely crucial. The source explicitly stresses that you need to get the $5 a month starter plan. Relying on completely free AI voice tools is super risky because it can lead to demonetization issues later down the line. That tiny $5 investment buys you commercial safety. From there, you've got some cool options. You can actually clone your own voice by uploading a 2-minute sample, or you can design a totally custom character, like a deep, booming American male voice if you're doing a horror channel. Just tweak the stability settings a bit and it sounds perfectly human.
All right, on to section 4, visuals, editing, and thumbnails. Let's talk about bringing this whole thing to life.
Since we're totally ditching the camera, we need good B-roll to match our new audio. Here's exactly where to look depending on your budget. Starting with $0, free stock video sites like Pexels and Pixabay are going to be your best friends. Ready to reinvest a little? Premium libraries like Envato Elements or Storyblocks will give you a massive edge with really unique, high-quality footage. And if you want to push the boundaries and create completely custom visuals, the guide recommends AI video generation tools like Nano Banana or Sura 2. To put it all together, you really don't need expensive Hollywood software. CapCut is highly recommended for the video assembly. It's free, accessible, and surprisingly powerful. A great pro trick from the guide is to layer CapCut's built-in sound effects, like echoing water drops, right underneath your voiceover to build up this incredible atmosphere. Then, for packaging the whole thing, just use ChatGPT to generate some dramatic, highly clickable thumbnail concepts, and head straight over to Canva to design it using their pre-made templates. It's incredibly straightforward.
Okay, we are getting close to launch. Section 5, channel setup and launch, targeting the right audience.
Now, this is literally the secret sauce for hitting that $450 RPM we talked about earlier. The source material is very clear on this. You must always use a US-based VPN or a remote desktop protocol when creating your channel and whenever you upload a video. You are actively signaling to the platform's algorithm that your channel lives in the US market, which ensures your content gets served directly to that high-paying demographic.
So here is your quick pre-flight launch checklist. First, ask ChatGPT for a catchy, USA-focused channel name, something atmospheric like My Hollow Voice. Upload your new Canva logo and banner. Critically, go into the back-end settings and set your channel's country of residence strictly to the United States. Grab some AI-generated SEO tags and paste those in too. Finally, when you upload, schedule your videos to go live during US nighttime hours. That maximizes the chances your target audience will see it right as they're scrolling in bed.
Finally, we arrive at section 6, scaling like a business. It's time to adopt a long-term mindset. There's this really powerful quote from the source material that just hits the nail on the head. Consistency beats talent. A talented person who doesn't work daily will lose to an untalented person who does. I mean, that is the ultimate reality of YouTube automation. You don't need to be a brilliant filmmaker. The true secret here? Relentless, scheduled output. Which leads us straight into the golden rules of scaling. You've got to treat this digital channel exactly like a physical brick-and-mortar business that you have to open up every single day. The commitment is 2 to 4 videos a week, strictly within one niche, so the algorithm knows exactly who to serve your stuff to. And here is the most crucial piece of business advice. When you make those first few $100, do not spend it. Reinvest those early profits, because ultimately the goal is to use that money to hire a scriptwriter and an editor. By reinvesting, you literally automate yourself completely out of the job.
So think about it. Your AI team, Claude, ElevenLabs, CapCut, they're all just sitting there right now waiting for your instructions. You've got the entire blueprint laid out, from scripting all the way to US audience targeting. So what will your first channel be about? It's time to dive in, start experimenting, and build your digital empire. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer. I really hope this sparked some incredible ideas for you.